There it is. All right, guys, what's going on? It's Richie Munoz. I'm one of the artistic directors for Prorituals. William has brought me on. I'm going to go through a whole class of everything that I can with you to do a live haircut. I've been in the industry for over 15 plus years. The experience that I'm going to bring in, my knowledge that I'm going to share with you for the next hour, I'm going to do a nice skin fade with a nice cropped messy top on top of that. Today, we're going to go over the products of a Prorituals gel. We're also going to be using one of my favorites, the wax that we also have carrying line, and we're going to finish everything off with the Prorituals hairspray. All right, without further ado, I'm going to get one of my colleagues going to hold the camera as I go through this whole haircut process with you guys. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, so right here, we're going to do a nice medium skin fade, messy crop top, a lot of scissor work, a lot of texture and detail. I'll put inside here. All right. And I can introduce my man John right here.
Hello, everyone.
Coming in. Yeah. All right, let's get this party started. Sit here, we're gonna kick him up. And with the neck strips.
Throw that up and switch this in the wash over to the bag. That's a big one.
All right. Let's check this out. All right, guys, we're gonna start right now. Grab my FX Ferraris, nice little clipper. We'll lubricate them up. As I do this, you grab my comb, grab my clippers. I'm going to start with the 4. Okay. I want to start right here, right above the temple line. I'm going to start right here, the parietal ridge. I'm going to cross this all the way across the front. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have going on. This technique that I'm showing you guys right now, we're going to do a fading down technique. Rather than your traditional start with the line and work our ways up, I'm going to show you a different way how to get the same results differently. As I'm fading, coming down, I started my 4 from up here. I close it all the way about here. So every number length that we go down, we're going about a finger length all the way down until we get down to the skin. So I've completed my 4. I'm going to put on my 3. You guys can see. I'm gonna do the same thing. So my 4 was up here. I'm gonna come down a finger length underneath. And I'm gonna fade it all the way across. As I'm doing this, I am turning the client to prevent any disoriented lines inside the hair. As I keep turning it, my hand stays in place. Okay. Right, and I'm gonna slowly close the clipper. I'm gonna go right back underneath that 3. Right there, we've completed the 3. We're gonna swap back. We're gonna put our number 2 guard on top. Already, I went from my 4 all the way up here, down to my 3, down to my 2, right above the temple. I'm gonna go nice and open. Go right under that. As I progressively go through my line system, as you can see, I have not created a line yet, going through everything. Okay, I'm gonna close a little bit more and get right where we were just at. Okay, that's done. We're gonna swap. We're gonna put our 1.5 guard on top. As you can see, turn these bad boys on. Go right underneath the 2. So we got our 4, our 3, our 2, and now our 1.5 is gonna be right here, right down the middle. As so far to the transitions of all my guards, as you can see, I have not created a line. Now, the reasons for this, that I do this for, is because once a customer sits there and suggests that they want a separate number on the side of their head, that they request a number 1 or number 2, they're not too sure. So if I'm fading down and I'm already at a 1.5 and the client says, you know what, that's a good length, I'm going to keep it right there. Then you already know that's where you needed to be. And that's why I do it backwards. We're going to continue with our 1.5. Okay, that's already done. So far we have faded down from our 4 down to a 1.5. With the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1.5. Now we're gonna grab onto a 1. Right there. And now we're just gonna fade right underneath the 1.5 line. There we go. We're gonna keep turning them around. Let the chair do all the work rather than walking around the client. Okay, and we're gonna spin them one more time, get onto this side. There we go. Boom. Okay, that was our 1. Now we're gonna grab our half guard that we have right here. Same thing, same concept. We're just gonna clean all this underneath. All this is gonna go bye-bye. All right, so as we sit in here, we're fading. Taking all this hair off. As I'm fading down, you can see that I have all this hair length on the bottom. This is called a reverse guideline. Rather than the guideline coming up, the guideline is coming down. All right, there we go. Getting a little closer. All right, now as you can see, we have faded down from our 4 all the way down to our half. As you see the smooth transition all the way through, there are still no lines in the hair. I'm gonna switch one of my clippers, set the half guard back on to my walls. I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, so we're gonna sit here. I'm gonna blend all this at the bottom as we go through. We'll close it a little bit more. Gonna fade all the way through. Okay. All right. Closing it as we go along. Just checking everything up over the ears. Get rid of all the hair. Fade this all the way around. Okay, we're gonna sit there, get rid of all of this. As we continue, okay, I'm gonna shut those off. We're gonna move the guard. Now we're going open. Same length over the middle, and we're gonna fade our way down as we close the blades. All right, so we're gonna start with that open. Close it a little bit more. I'm gonna swing this all the way around, and as you see, I'm going a little lower with everything that I'm doing, and I'm taking away the reverse guideline. So we're gonna do that and close it a little bit more. Get rid of all this hair right over the ears. I'm gonna go walk our way down. Okay, we'll finish this off in the corners. Beautiful, beautiful. You see the transition fade all the way down from our 4 down to the skin. We're almost there. I closed these clippers out all the way. I maxed them out. They can't be closed any tighter. So we're gonna sit here, just go right above the ears, underneath the nape of the neck, right here. All this is going. All this is going. We'll stick right over the ears. Fade all this out. Boom, that's done. Then we grab our trimmers. These are one of my faves. All this right here, we're gonna watch the trimmer line just disappear. Now watch. I'm just literally going right over the ears with the skin fade. We're doing a low medium skin today. We get rid of all this. And without causing a line, I'm just gonna get rid of the bulk and all the excess. There we go. Nice. Get rid of all that excess hair. As we turn the twine and fade underneath the ears. As you see, our perfect transition. We have from our 4, 3, 2, 1, half down to the skin. All the way around. No line was generated through this whole process. It takes a little practice to get going this, but the reason I like to do this is because I don't want to chase a line going through the client's hair. And when the client requests a certain number on the hair and they're not too sure, I will go backwards and fade, and I will show them that every number length that I go through to see that's something that they do like rather than the one. We keep our client as cleanly as possible, at least hair free. We'll pull the neckline down, get rid of all of this. There we go. From here up, we're gonna blend in with the shears, and I'm gonna show you how I do that. So you can see we have a nice line up here of separation between the actual fade and the hair up top. So just a little bit. And get some water. I'm gonna finish this off. I'll sit here, run the water through the whole haircut. We're gonna start with our sides. We're gonna work our way up. Okay, so what we do is grab our shears. Okay. David, you just on this side real quick. Okay, as I decide to blend this side in, I'm going to show you. I'm going to separate the top from the side, just like this. This is going to be saved for later. So this hair right here, I'm going to have to blend. And pick it up with a comb. I'm going to go straight up. Same thing with this section. I'll keep my fingertips on the scalp. Pull my fingers straight up. Just like that. This will help me blend all the hair coming to the top. All the hair that was disconnected, we are connecting. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna get to the other side. Same thing. Yeah. So right here. As we pull the hair out, we're gonna go straight up, almost at a 90-degree angle. And continue the guide all the way through. All right. So as you can see, all the transition from here to the top has been blended in this section. I'm gonna spin them around. You see the other side. Same thing with this one. All the section has been all connected. Now we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of the hair up top. All right, I'm gonna go with a client. I'm tall, but I'm not that tall. Okay, so we're gonna section the hair from the back. I'm gonna go about 1/3 on the way back and 2/3 will be in the front. Okay, this hair is going to be picked up. Get a little more water. Okay, we're going to take that and section the back half down the middle, just like this. Okay, so then we're going to start with the right side. You pick the hair up right where it disconnects, right here. We're going to follow this straight up into a 45-degree angle, right where it stops. Okay, then we're going to section and grab another section. Here, get it from back here going forward, so you can see back here. Grab the next section, hold it out of 45. And we grab the next section. And then last but not least, our last section. You can already see the patterns already starting to form. Nice 45. Okay, we're going to brush that to the side. We're going to start with the other side. As I'm going through here, pick up this section and hold it at 45. You can see where it disconnects into a connecting. So what we're going to do is going to go here, change our finger position, continue this 45, and then get rid of that. And after that, we'll grab the next section, do the same thing, hold the hair up at a 45, and continue to cut. Grab the third section. You can already see where it starts to separate. We're just going to come up with that. And then same thing, as you can see, the pattern's already continuing. Boom. That's done. So I usually go back into it after I'm done. I'll grab the section, do a little point cutting, just to create a little bit more texture when the hair is styled. As you can see, as I already did that, you can already see the movement and all the texture that I applied on just the back half of the hair. Okay, now the haircut is going to be disconnected. Okay, so the haircut is gets disconnected. We are going to start with the right side. We're going to pick the hair up and we're going to overextend the hair. As you can see from right here, we're going to create a straight line going across. We're going to pretty much taper the hair going into a pyramid. So we go just like this. So right where the hair starts to disconnect, right from here to here, we're going to continue the line. So we're going to do triangular sections going forward. So you sit there, grab fingertips. So sit there, we're going to continue and cross when we make the pyramid. Once the hair has been maxed out that we cannot go straight anymore is when we switch directions. So now I have to revert my fingers back into a 45 going the opposite direction, just like so. And then cut this way. I got to make my man Johnny look good. He's going to Vegas. So we go through there. Continue the 45. Now, as you can see, it connected to this side. So I'm just going to sit here, right through there. So now we sat there. We connected all the disconnected hair. So what we're going to do is we're going to make more triangular sections inside the 2/3 of the hair that was not cut prior. So what we're going to do is we're going to section behind the original line that we made. We grab more hair from the back, extend the fingers, and do the same thing. Create another triangle. Okay, and then literally that, we just transition the fingers, move back. And we pick up the next section underneath behind it. Sit there, finish the triangular sections. As you can see already the hairs already starting to blend with each other. Okay, then we're gonna, that was 2 sections. We usually do about 3 to 4, depending how many sections we want to create. So we do the 3rd section on the inside. Do the same thing right here. You can tell where it's disconnected to be connected. So we're just gonna follow that 45 line all the way through. Push the hair to the forward. All right, then we max out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch our fingers. Repeat the same process. Do it 3 times. Okay, that portion is done. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna wet the client's hair a little bit more because we're gonna do some slicing in the hair to create more texture, more volume into his hair. So we're gonna push everything forward. We start about midway down. We're gonna close this about halfway. And glide right through the hair. Okay, and we do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, and after we did that, then I just want to create more movement, more texture inside the hair. I'm gonna pick up sections of the hair, do a little point cutting, just at the tips. We're not trying to get deep into it. Now, when I sit there and I use the Prorituals pomade gel, that is going to give my client the maximum volume that his hair could handle. When I apply the wax to his hair afterwards, that's going to give his hair direction. Then we're going to finish off with a little bit of hairspray just to make sure the hair stays in place, which it will, but as a finishing touch. Now, as I went through it, as I finished point cutting, I have not even styled the hair yet, but you can already see how much texture my man has in his hair and how much movement that we have going on. Okay. So here we're gonna dust them off with all this hair. All right, now this is what we're gonna use. Mega Palm. It's a pomade gel from Prorituals. We're gonna do about this much gel. Nothing crazy. We'll work it through our hands. We're gonna work it through our hair. Want to get the tops all the way down to the bottom. Make sure we get the root really well because that's what's going to give us our maximum lift for his hair. Just like that. Dry our hands. We're going to get our condenser out. We're going to get a round brush. About an inch, inch and a half. Nothing too crazy big. Sit here and we're going to lift the hair. Everything that I'm doing with the dryer, everything is going to go towards the middle. That's the direction of this haircut. So as we're drying, we're lifting and pushing the hair forward. I use medium heat. You don't have to go super high. I like to control the hair as it's drying. The benefits of this gel that I like to use from Prorituals, from the pomade, is that it's virtually flake-free. It stays in the hair all day. It doesn't get super hard or crunchy onto the hair. It's very manageable. And without the dryer, you get a nice sheen look, but not overly wet. So it's like almost like a half and half. But it's definitely not a matte finish. So as I'm sitting here in the back, I want to create maximum lift. So I lift the hair all the way up and push the hair forward. As you can see, as it's drying, you can already see the texture and movement that I've already created into the hair. So I'm going to continue drying. I'm going to push all the hair forward. I'm constantly taking the hair and moving it. I'm coming straight up with the hair. Taking everything up and over. When we get to the front of the section, it's gonna get a little different. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spin the client. And we're gonna comb the hair up and back. The Prorituals pomade gel that I'm using right now is a very long hold and not overly bearing. So as you see, as I'm blowing it out, the hair is staying in place. It's not moving. Okay. Then we're gonna grab a Prorituals hair wax. We're not gonna need too much. You just have to do a few laps in the can. A little goes a long way. About that much. All right, so like I said, the gel itself is going to give you maximum volume. The wax itself is going to give the hair direction. So we're going to sit there, we're going to work it between our fingers. Okay, we'll start from the back. I'm literally just working it into the hair. So just give a nice little style. A little crop top with a flip in the front. Just like so. So the front is naturally going to be longer than everything else, which is the key to the haircut. So here, give it a little pick, a little style. Bam. Just like that. I'm gonna set the client in front of the mirror. He looks it. How we looking, buddy?
Unreal.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Vegas ain't ready for you, buddy. After I apply the wax and finish off, grab our Prorituals hairspray. We're gonna hit it right at the base. A little on top, on the sides. It's just to hold the hair in place and give it a little extra touch. Once that's set, we'll run it in. Do a little fluff. And that haircut is done. Wow. Not too bad, right, guys? Huh? Did pretty good. I like it. All right. Now, after everything is said and done with the haircut, I just want to give it a quick little 360. I want to put it in front of the mirror. And I want to make sure I don't see any type of imperfections, any hairs that want to stick out. All right, so I see, just to put a 5 finishing touches, I want to throw a little thinning shear right here to get some of this bulk. That's all I want to do. So I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna clip her over, I'm gonna scissor over comb. Get rid of some of this bulk that he has in the back. You said you have an appointment on Saturday? Oh, beautiful. Gotcha. Lowered all the bulk of the back, so now it sits more flat onto the crown, and all the hair scoops up more to the forward. Okay. That is set. All I gotta do right now, I'm just gonna straighten out the corners and the edges over here to give it more of a fine line. So I'm gonna touch this part right here. And then naturally shape up the front sideburns. Just like so. And we do the other side. When I shape this up on the sides, I want to keep it as natural as possible, but I'd like to shape this up and clean it as best as possible. Just give it a little extra oomph. Just like that. Beautiful. How are we looking, Johnny? How are we feeling?
Love it. Vegas is not ready.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I like to hear. After that, dust off the climb for any excess hair.
Okay. With what barber?
Okay. A little alcohol. Little barber cologne.
And your beard done too, or just
Remove the neck strips. We try to alleviate any hair off the sides that were left over, that were covered up by the cape and the neck strips. So get rid of those.
no? How long would you say it would take for somebody to get a haircut and dye their hair? Like, how long is that process? Would you say? Like on the front haircut and you kind of dye it. How long it takes the process? It could be an hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours. What kind of haircut are you getting?
And there we have it, guys. Skin fade, crop top, messy look up top with the flip up front, little work on the sides. We're gonna go with a little quick little recap on the haircut. So remember, we started with our 4. We put it right about here. We did a 3 or 2 or 1 all the way down to the half, and the skin line was right over the ears on the nape of the neck. We blended the top with the shears. We cut the hair into a triangle formation from here. We separated the hair, 1/3 on the way back, 2/3 on the way forward. Cut everything into a triangle shape. Sliced through the hair, point cutted. We used the Prorituals pomade gel, which gave his hair a lot of height and volume, as you can see. We used the Prorituals wax right here to give the hair shape, which is still in, and dusted it off with the hairspray, which kept it in shape, just for a little extra touch, just to make sure. And as you can see, the hair is standing up on its own. It's not a heavy weight. I can literally run my fingers through it without getting stuck. And if he's feeling kind of froggy that day, he can change the direction of his hair, wherever he likes it. You can sit here, rock it forward. You can put it all back. You can rock a faux hawk, and the hair still stays in place without being moved. That's what's so great about this product that makes it so very versatile, especially when you combine the products together. It just makes it that much more important. And boom. That is that, ladies and gentlemen.